They're going to talk about the debate between throwing the hook with your palm facing in or palm facing down.
A lot of people argue that it's better and more powerful to throw the hook palms down rather than thumbs up. Roy's going to demonstrate, and we're going to talk about it. He agrees with that as well, right? 100%. He can throw that left hook, multiple left hooks, because if you're throwing a left hook where you're throwing the hook where you're turning that hook over, you have to make a much longer transition to turn that wrist and to put that hook back in position than to keep that thumbs up and throw that hook. So when he's throwing that left hook, he is going to be throwing that hook thumbs up. When he starts to roll that hand over, it becomes an arm punch. He's losing his back, he's losing that pec, and he's also losing that bicep, because that punch, when you have it this way, you could curl the wrist because the hand has more stability in flexion than it does in extension. So he can turn that wrist a little bit, and he's incorporating more bicep into that as well.
The thing about it is, too, in this inside here, you create a pull position. So I can keep on going. I got a system right there. You see that?
You know, he'll just demonstrate, and he's throwing one hook, okay? The power that he has on his left hook is incredible.
I want 2. I want 3. I want 4. I want 5.
So fast. If you was turning it the other way,
Once I go through one,
your arm is coming, that's right, it's becoming more arm.
that's exactly right.
And when it's becoming more arm, it's not going to be as fluid because your whole body is synchronizing together when you have it thumbs up. So your body can recoil faster than your arm, because when it becomes fully arm, then it's your arm has to recuperate, has to make that transition. When it's the body, you're just twisting the body and the arm's going into place on its own. Another argument that I hear when people talk about the closer the hook is in tighter, then the hand turns over more. It's just the opposite. The key that he's doing there, I mean, even if I'm in tight when he's throwing that hook, it's right in there tight.
6 inches.
And what I have today also, just to go over and reiterate it from even an orthopedic standpoint, I've got Dr. DeMayo, who's chairman of orthopedic surgery, and he's going to talk about the pluses on why thumbs up incorporates more muscles, and I'll let you take it from here.
You were on the right track with what you were talking about before. The wrist flexors are much stronger than the wrist extensors. So if you're throwing a punch like this is the weakest part of your wrist.
Right.
This is the strongest part of your wrist. So this is where your power comes from. Now you activate the biceps muscle, the brachialis muscle, okay? And more importantly, now you're bringing in the pec and the lat from behind. So if you see a picture of him, like doing this, you're gonna see these muscles. And just look at any picture around here, you'll see that. So he's getting that power from his legs and he's driving up. And it's coming through his hips, through his glutes, through his lower back muscles, and all that energy is now being transferred right there. And I'm gonna let Mr. Velasquez talk about why the other punch is bad for you.
Right. This is Frank Velasquez, Director of Sports Performance.
Yeah, Tom, so to tell you why, you guys are just explaining it, Dr. DeMayo confirmed it. When you guys are palm down, elbow up, you lose the power, okay? And now it's much more of a rotator, like you're calling it an arm punch. Rotator cuff. Now, if you look at the pecs and the lats, they're big muscles. The rotator cuff, 4 very small muscles, and they're very exposed in this position. So you don't have the stability, you don't have the power that you have from here. He has to recoil. It takes a lot longer for him. He's over-rotating when he's up in this position. It takes him a while to get back there to do it again, where we just saw how quick he ran off 6 of those. There's no way you're doing that in this position. So from a health standpoint, you have much more stability for all the reasons Dr. DeMayo said from this position, thumbs up, as opposed to now we're here, we're exposing the shoulder. It's protected by those 4 small rotator cuff muscles. They're just not big enough. See this position, you hit something hard, now you could have a posterior translation, ripping the labrum or tearing the rotator cuff.
So I hope that helps. Let's throw a couple 1-2 hooks just to show. Whew.
Until next time, I'm Shane with Fight Tips for the Underdogs.